The Rugby Championship is here, the most brutal, tough and grueling competition between the Springboks, Wallabies, All Blacks and Los Pumas is here. Kicks off this weekend, Springboks versus Wallabies and the All Blacks versus Los Pumas. But who are the favourites to win it this year? All Blacks have won it the last 4 years. The Springboks last won it in 2019. Wallabies last won it in 2015. And Argentina are yet to win the Rugby Championship. Before we get into it, hit that subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Who's your favourite to win it? Who do you think is going to win it? Who's not going to win it? Who's going to surprise you? Let me know what you think in the comments. Let's get into it. So All Blacks have dominated the Rugby Championship, formerly known as the Tri-Nations, for as long as it's been a competition, with a total of 20 titles. Wallabies have 4 titles, Springboks have 4 titles, and Los Pumas are yet to win this illustrious competition. The Los Pumas entered the Tri-Nations to make it the Rugby Championship, and while they have come up with a shock win or upset here and there, they have never really threatened for the title as of yet. I think the fall of the Jaguares out of the Super Rugby has made this even harder, in my opinion. The cohesion, the culture that they built together, the bonds of them playing together week in, week out, where Jaguares was made up of, it was like the Fijian Drua are now in for Fiji. How the Fijian Drua are now for Fiji, that's how the Jaguares were for Argentina. You have pretty much the whole Argentinian side was playing for Jaguares, them playing together all the time together, working on combinations, just the bonds that brings to a team, and then seeing that step over into the international scene and really helped the Argentinian side. With them, yes, South Africa has a strong, they're in the URC, they have a lot of strong clubs playing in their All Blacks so do the Wallabies, where Argentina don't have a strong local competition. That makes it hard to boost or to bring up players in that way, where players that are doing well in Argentina have to go look to play somewhere else. And yes, a lot of South Africans play elsewhere. A lot of New Zealanders can't. They have to play in New Zealand, and Wallabies too, to a point as well, to an extent. I do think that makes it harder for Argentina, but rest assured, they are bringing the passion, they're bringing the emotion, that determination, that spirit in which they play and which they will always play. It's imminent in this Argentinian side, and I can't wait to see how they react to this year's competition, or in this year's competition. For the Wallabies, still on the road to recovery after last year's head-on collision with Eddie Jones. The new reign of Joe Schmidt shows there's a lot of promise. Unbeaten start to his tenure, Joe Schmidt has. Picking players on form, playing an exciting style of rugby. It looks like players are buying into that game plan and really reacting to what Schmidt wants or how he wants them to play the game. Is this enough to win a Rugby Championship title this year already? That might not be the most realistic goal for the Wallabies at this moment, at the point that they are at the moment, where they are looking. It is a rebuild in a sense. Yes, there's a lot of experienced guys within the squad, but a whole new coaching staff, a whole new outlook on the way they want to play. And really, you could have the most experienced squad. After last year's chaos, it is still a rebuild. So I think winning the Rugby Championship title this year might not be on their goal list. Yeah, obviously, you want to go into competitions, you want to win it. It might be like the North Star. Like, yes, obviously we want to win it. But more realistic goals for me would be, I think, winning each game, not each game, beating each opponent. So you play each country twice, at least winning one of those 2 games versus the opponents. So beating South Africa once, beating Argentina once, and beating the All Blacks once. Maybe even trying to beat one of those teams twice would be more realistic goals for the Wallabies side. In saying that, if you think playing against the Wallabies is going to be a walk in the park, think again, man. There's a really strong squad that they've put together. And like I've said, there's excitement. There is a real buy-in on the way of how they want to play the game under Joe Schmidt. So they're not going to be a walkover in any sense. And I can't wait to see how they go. Are they favourites to win the Rugby Championship title this year? No. Do I expect them to cause a few upsets and headaches? Absolutely. It's going to be a good start, a good rebuild, good start for Joe Schmidt and the Wallabies this Rugby Championship. All Blacks under new coach Razor Robinson. All Blacks are also undefeated under their new coach. The real test starts this weekend. Yes, they get the easier start against Argentina. Not an easier start at all, but they do have 2 home games versus Argentina, and it's a good start for them to get involved, to get amongst it. They do then go on to play South Africa in South Africa twice, both fixtures, which is the Rugby World Cup final rematch. South Africa's the best in the world, number 1 at least. And that's mass. Can they beat South Africa in South Africa? It's a different beast, man. A different beast. Yes, the lineouts, big worry for the All Blacks. Scott Barrett not available for the first opening tests or the opening 2 tests. Some question marks around certain positions. But with big names back in the squad, guys like Will Jordan, Sam Cane's back in there, and a sense of energy injected into the All Blacks under new coach Scott Robinson, they're always a threat and always a threat. And when it comes to Rugby Championship titles, Tri-Nations titles, 20 titles, the All Blacks know how to do it. The closest next up is the Wallabies and Springboks on 4 titles each. When it comes to winning the Rugby Championship, All Blacks know how to do it. Springboks, number 1 in the world, back-to-back Rugby World Cup titles. Does that change the odds for the Rugby Championship this year? Who knows? Boks have been known to not be as lethal during non-World Cup years. So World Cup years come around every 4 years and they turn it on. Non-World Cup years seem to struggle. They have had a lot of players come out, and even Rassie come out saying that they want to really emphasize winning more games during the non-Rugby World Cup years. And what a way to start it. What a way to do that is let's win a Rugby World Cup or Rugby Championship. How about that? Drew the series to Ireland. How about win a Rugby World Cup, a Rugby Championship? Last time the South African Springboks did it, 2019. They've got a ton of experience in their squad, probably the most experience out of all the squads put together. South Africa do, with a couple of fresh faces in there as well that will add a lot of value and impact towards that squad. Opening up their campaign versus the Wallabies, it'll be an absolute outing. Afternoon kickoff on Suncorp in Brisbane. Then they've got All Blacks at home, 2 tests at home. Man, I've written down here Springboks are my favourites to win it this year. But I think because they haven't proven how well they can be a bit better during the non-World Cup years, I'm changing that. I'm gonna say All Blacks are my favourites to win it this year. But that means nothing, man. They've done it before. Springboks All Blacks have done it before. They know how to win rugby championships. Springboks are number 1 in the world. But the proof's in the pudding, man. Show us to get the results, either team. Show us the results, and then we can say What I'm saying here makes no sense. I say All Blacks, favourites to win it. Springboks, if the Springboks do win it, it's a yes, good. They should. They're number one in the world. Wallabies and Argentina to upset a few teams and to cause a ton of headaches. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Who are your favourites? Oh, man, the Rugby Championship is here. Let's go. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Hit that subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Bye.